Strap in. All right, 10 signs someone is playing mind games with you. Word of the day is mind games. Another word for it is head games. Basically what it is, it's a conscious struggle for psychological control. If somebody's playing head games with you, somebody playing mind games with you, they want psychological control over your mind. They want to disempower you and demoralize the subject. And making the aggressor look superior. So what they do is they demoralize, they disempower you, bring you down so they can look better. That says something about a person that in order for them to feel good, they got to bring somebody down. Saying of the day is, you can't tempt me with what I don't want. Another good saying, because we're going to be talking about some of that in here, is you never have to worry about quitting something you never start in the first place. This talk is for educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional advice, treatment, guidance, or diagnosis. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, substance use or abuse, or suicidal thoughts, dial 988. 988 is available 24/7 nationwide and staffed by trained crisis counselors who adjust a text or a call away. In many relationships, things are easy and smooth sailing. Communication is straightforward. The person is honest with you and you simply get along with each other. But unfortunately, with some people, this isn't always the case. If it's not that, it's not healthy. With some people, this isn't always the case. In fact, relationships can sometimes be complete nightmares. If you find yourself walking around eggshells just to talk to them, or they're unpredictable and passive aggressive, they may have a secret hidden agenda they're trying to fulfill. They may be trying to control your feelings and use you to get what they want. There's always an agenda for a toxic person to be around you. It's an agenda. 10 signs someone is playing head games with you. Number one, they use your feelings against you. If people want control over your life and don't truly care about you or love you. Manipulative people want control over your life and don't truly care about you or love you. And I know that's hard to swallow for some people. And the worst part about it is a lot of times we were trained to accept dysfunctional love growing up. Telltale sign that you're being played is they keep you worried, they keep you anxious, they keep you confused, or you feel off when you are around them. You feel off when you're around them. You don't feel comfortable being yourself. You don't feel comfortable making jokes because you don't think your jokes are funny around them. And you probably a funny kind of person. You can't be yourself around them. You can't be vulnerable around them. This is because they enjoy playing with your emotions and knocking you off balance, so they have an easier time overruling you. They think you're insecure. They think you're insecure over your looks. If they think you're insecure over your looks, if that's one of the things they found out about you, guess what they'll do? They may start complimenting your friend's appearance right in front of you and even tease you over what you are wearing. That's control. If they think for 1 second in their mind that you have an insecurity about your looks, they're going to exploit it. 10 signs someone is playing mind games with you. They compare you to others. Someone frequently compares you negatively to those around you. It could be that they're trying to manipulate you. If you're dating someone and they often make comments like, my ex didn't mind me doing that, or why don't you dress like him or her? It's another way of keeping you off your toes. Those are mind games. 10 signs someone is playing mind games with you. Number 3, they never compliment you. They'll compliment somebody off TV quick. They'll compliment a mutual friend of y'all's quick. They never compliment you. If you're in a relationship with someone who never gives you a kind word and acts as though you have no good qualities, they may be trying to test you. If your partner doesn't seem to recognize when you do good, they may be measuring your breaking point. They want to see how frustrated you'll become so they can measure your reaction. This isn't what someone who loves you would do. So basically, they ignore you. You've been doing all this good stuff. They know it. But they've been ignoring you. They might compliment somebody else who just did almost the same thing as you. But they just trying to measure, what does it take to push you over the edge? Those are mind games. They testing you. Man, y'all better get hip to this, brother. 10 signs someone is playing mind games with you. Number 4, they ask lots of basic questions. Oh, y'all. You ever been with more than one guy at the same time? Right. Because you don't really want to know the answer to that. You just want to see if she's going to tell you the truth. And if she says she didn't, you might wait a month or two and ask her again. You really want to know how freaky she is? Nah, you want some ammunition. Because certain questions you probably shouldn't ask if you don't really want the answer. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because if she did be with two guys before you probably don't want to know. All right, how many? We ain't gonna talk about some of y'all's histories. Y'all done got down and dirty too. Come on now, let's quit knocking these women down. They ask lots of basic questions. This usually happens more towards the start of the relationship. Mind gamers constantly bombard you with simple questions like, what's your favorite color? Or, how many siblings do you have? Or, how many people you have slept with? It's possible they are trying to test your level of honesty. Later, they may start asking repetitive or similar questions over and over. This usually means they're playing with your mind and are fishing for inconsistencies and in-depth information only to use it against you later. There's a duality to that also, though. On the flip side of that coin, oftentimes if they keep asking you the same questions over and over again, they might be juggling another person. And they confusing y'all. I answered that question already. 10 signs someone is playing games with you. Number 4, they disappear on you often. You can't get in contact with them for a period of time, and then all of a sudden they just pop up like a groundhog. Hey, here I am. Like, they are playing mind games. Don't nobody be ghost. They disappear on you often. Hide and seek is a common action of someone who is playing mind games with you. They hang around when they can use you to their advantage or for their own entertainment. I don't want her, but I'm horny right now and I wouldn't mind a strip dance. Come on, somebody. I don't want her, but I'm going to do just enough to keep her around. So when that other head starts thinking, I got somebody who will pop over here and give me what I need. Come on with it. When you can't benefit them, say like your car break down. You take a loss where you ain't gonna have no extra money and they know about it. All of a sudden they disappear because they really just want something from you. Everybody who is around you don't like you. Some people like what you can give them and what you can do for them. Some people might like your potential in the future. You got to be careful. 10 signs someone is playing games with you. Number 6, they don't keep their promises. They don't keep their promises. We all forget things, and we can't expect someone to be 100% consistent with their actions and words. But if your partner constantly is promising to do things with you but never do, people who play mind games like to string you along with the carrot and the stick. Y'all hip to that, right? Carrot and the stick. You get you a little stick with a string and have the carrot dangling there. and every time, and the carrot is what you want, but it's on the end of a string. And every time you reach for it, look, I pull it out the way. Nah, you gotta, y'all remember that little commercial where the guy had the fishing pole, the old dude, he had a little dollar on the end of it? And the girl was reaching for it every time she reached for it. He's like, oh, you gotta try harder than that. That's an example of the carrot and the stick. A lot of times people will give you a promise.
A house and a stick.
I don't know what you're talking about. Let me make my point. A lot of times people will make a promise to you. And every time you start getting closer and closer to that promise, they pull that carrot right away from you. That whatever they promised you, they pull it right away. Nah, you got to do something else. They'll promise you wonderful things as long as you keep following their orders, only to yank the reward away at the last minute. 10 signs someone is playing games with you. Number 7, they like to play the jealousy game. That was cool in high school. It really wasn't cool in high school, but you can get away with it in high school. You know, you tell a girl, guess who was in class with me earlier today, sitting next to me, talking to me, and gave me her phone number because you want to keep the girl on her toes. But as adults, that don't work. People who manipulate and play mind games are actually insecure at their root, and their lives are often messy. This is what drives them to try and control others. If a partner is always bringing up positive things about an ex, they're likely trying to get a reaction out of you. If you respond upset when your partner tries this tactic, it reassures them that you're still in love with them. Ain't that a way to try to test if you're in love with somebody? Someone who truly loves you won't go out of their way to agitate you for their own personal gain. 10 signs someone is playing games with you. Number 8, they confuse you. They keep you confused. Here we go. With a mind gamer, you're always second guessing and questioning yourself with them. Confusion and gaslighting are some of the most toxic weapons manipulators will use against you. Be aware of phrases like, I already told you that. Don't you remember? It really didn't tell you nothing. They just want to keep you guessing. Man, I'm forgetting stuff. You ain't forgetting stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with you. It's this person. They got you thinking you crazy. Remember I told you that I did? I don't remember you telling me that. I told you, don't remember me telling you that? Nah, man, what? Man, I might have to go to the doctor. They have you going to the hospital, bro. And the whole time it's them. It's the whole time it's them. And some of the people who cause you the most harm in your life are attached to you. Yes. Beware of phrases like, I already told you that. Don't you remember? And no, I didn't say that. That's another one. Yeah, I did tell you that. And another thing, after they told you something, I didn't say that. They trying to keep you on the rope, man. Ain't that something for somebody to say they love you to do you like that? I already told you that. Don't you remember? And no, I didn't say that, especially when you're absolutely positive what they're saying isn't true. They'll still argue you down until you give up, until you start second guessing yourself. Go ahead. You got a question?
No, I was saying, you right. Give up, like, you know what? You're right.
Right. I see you. 10 signs someone is, that's exactly what people end up doing. Giving up. Say, okay, you got it. All right. And they don't know if it's the truth or not. They just don't want to argue because some people ain't good at arguing. Some people just don't have the energy to argue with people. You don't have time for it. 10 signs someone is playing games with you. Number 9, the silent treatment. That's how a lot of people try to get at you. They won't never come and tell you what the problem is. They won't never confront you about something. They'll just pull back and let you, holidays come, they don't call you or text you. You call and text them Happy New Year, they don't respond. They seen your text. They want you to sit with the fact that they didn't respond to your text message. Or they didn't respond, they never called you back when you left a message. They want you to be one. Is there something between us? Did I do something? That's gaslighting at its finest. My thing is, if I send you a text message and I say Merry Christmas, or I say Happy Birthday, or I say Happy New Year, and you don't respond, that's your problem. I said Happy Birthday.
You did your part.
And next year I'm gonna do the same thing again. Block me. They use the silent treatment when you're not behaving the way a toxic person wants you to, or the way a manipulator wants you to. A manipulator often will resort to the silent treatment or threaten to leave the relationship. A lot of times, if they don't get what they want, they threaten to just leave. Y'all have one little disagreement or argument, I'm out. If somebody is so quick to just throw away a year, 2 years, 3 years over something silly, they don't really care. They're not really fully in the relationship. You feel me? Home got to come first. To leave home after an argument, unresolved, man, you're going to be thinking about that all day long. Yeah, man. They'll stop reaching out to you, won't respond to your messages and calls, right until you eventually become anxious enough to give in to their demands. The only way they want you to show up is if you're going to do what they want you to do. This is the my way or the highway passive aggressive person. I'm not even going to tell you I'm pissed off. I'm going to wait for you to figure it out. And the final one, number 10, they suddenly start complimenting you excessively. And they don't usually do that. Oh yeah, man. Toxic people, when they think you ready to go and you had enough of their stuff, they go back to what they was in the beginning. Because people who play mind games, they going to pour it on in the beginning. Because they already know they going to fall short before you even talk to them. They know they pattern. They only got a spurt in the beginning. Same thing with drugs. It's the first high that gets you. Am I right?
Yeah. Trace is a term for that. It's called love bombing.
Yep, love bombing. Yep, love bombing is, I'm gonna hit you with all kind of love. I'm gonna go buy your cards in the beginning, see your notes in the beginning, put a little note in the refrigerator, leave that for you in the beginning, go take your car and get it washed, put some gas in it. That's love bombing. I'm dropping all these love bombs on you. So when I mess up later on, you're gonna forgive me because of all the good things I did. Ain't that what people do with crack? They go and smoke some crack and they don't even get a high. They say that's okay though, because they thinking about that first high. And you're going to be on the hamster wheel trying to get it. Chasing that feeling. Chasing that feeling. But like I said earlier, you ain't got to worry. Never worry about quitting something you don't never start in the first place. You ain't got to worry about getting over crack if you don't never smoke it. I ain't never in my life snorted no cocaine in my life, and I'm in my 50s. I don't even know what snorting cocaine feel like. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, because I am not. That don't make me better than somebody who has smoked cocaine. Doesn't make me better. But I was smart enough to know you never got to worry about quitting something. You never have to start in the first place. And I never seen a crackhead who I wanted to be like. They suddenly start complimenting you excessively. This is where it gets tricky, because lack of complimenting, as I said earlier, is a potential sign of mind games. But if out of nowhere they start praising you, whether for your skills, talents, or looks, after a prolonged period of not doing so, you may not want to give in to their words so quickly. If they notice you've been backing away from them, they could be trying to allure you and pull you back into their zone. Once they have you back, though, they'll eventually go back to their old ways of mind games and manipulations again. 10 signs someone is playing mind games with you. Number 1, they use your feelings against you. Number 2, they compare you to others. Number 3, they never compliment you. Number 4, they ask lots of basic questions. Number 5, they disappear on you often. Number 6, they don't keep their promises. Number 7, they like to play the jealousy game. Number 8, they confuse you, keep you confused. Number 9, they use the silent treatment against you. And then the final one, number 10, we said was they suddenly start complimenting you excessively. Yeah. Any questions, concerns, or comments?
I was just thinking of all of the terrible character issue. That if you the person that's those characters fit you,
Characteristics,
right? Yeah, characteristics. Thank you. Or you're around people that are fitting that bill, you got to get away from it, because that's life altering.
Mm-hmm.
All that's life altering.
Yeah, you'll mess around and waste 10 years with somebody.
Waste plenty of time.
They mess around. That's how people waste 5 years, 10 years, 20 years in a relationship that ain't going nowhere. Because it's not based on love. It's based off of manipulation. No relationship based off manipulation can survive. A house divided against itself can't stand. And if you're mistreating the person that you're supposed to love and that you're in a relationship with, basically all you're really doing is bombing your own ship. You basically cutting your wrists. How can you hurt the person who loves you? Or the person that's helping to take care? Y'all are supposed to take care of each other. I would never want a woman who I care about, who I'm in a relationship with, to have low self-esteem. I would never, because of me. How I talk to her, how I treat her. I'm bombing my own ship. She cannot be no good to me at that level. And the thing about that is, if it's hard for you to treat somebody right in a relationship, then that basically means you need to raise your self-esteem, because you can't give away what you don't have. And you probably need to stop getting in relationships until you figure yourself out. Because once you figure yourself out, I mean, you better at picking relationships, picking people, and being in something that's healthy. Because once you figure out yourself and you start working on your self-esteem, certain situations you just ain't gonna put yourself in. Certain situations you just not gonna entertain. And if you are trying to conquest every woman that you run into, that's a sign right there you got low self-esteem. And just because she got a fat butt and a pretty smile don't mean nothing. Some of my biggest headaches came from chicks with fat butts and big smiles. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
That don't guarantee nothing. Some of the prettiest women I've ever dated gave me a run for my money.
What the BBD said, never trust a big butt and a smile.
Yep.
That's it.
He quoting BBD.
In my situation, that I'm sure everybody else did too, that it was equally my fault as well. As a woman,
Yeah.
it was just as much my fault. I had issues.
Oh yeah, I think we all have. But the thing is, whatever's been learned can be unlearned. Ever been learned can be unlearned, and repetition is the mother of all skill. Any other questions, concerns, or comments? What's up, Don?
What about the silent treatment? I've been in a relationship and you won't know what's going on because you know what? They won't talk 3 days, 4 days. Living in the same house, talking.
4 days not talking to me, I'm moving out.
At what point
I'm
they
moving
gonna
out.
start?
You ain't finna mess my toothbrush. You ain't messing my toothbrush
Call the
up.
law, they want you out.
You ain't got to worry. You ain't got to never worry about calling the law on me.
Already go.
For real.
I'm already headed to
My peace of mind is too important for me. You can have this crib.
Yeah.
Let me get off the paperwork.
Yeah.
Y'all can have it. I go get me an efficiency and be happy until I get back on my feet. I don't care, man. If you're in a bad situation, man, it's best to get out of it and put some distance between that toxic relationship and yourself. Put some distance between the old you and the new you. Because there's some people, man, they're gonna never let you escape the old you. My thing is, if I haven't talked to you in a year, you don't know me no more. If I haven't talked to you in 6 months to a year, you don't know me anymore. If I haven't talked to you in 5 years, you definitely don't know me anymore. My mind has constantly been growing every single day since I last saw you. My mind has constantly, y'all see what we've been talking about? My mind been doing this before I started working here, and it's gonna always be doing this. This is my regular. Y'all see how y'all getting the benefit of this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bro,
Oh yeah.
you are not going to be the same person. It's some people, they're going to see you in a year from now, and they're going to try to keep you on the same page you used to be. Oh, you remember when you?
Can't hold me.
Yeah. That ain't you no more. That ain't you. You ain't that person no more. So that's the thing. People try to keep you in a box. Don't let nobody keep you in a box, man. Keep growing and keep changing, keep evolving, keep becoming.